Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark, and in today's video we are going to be going over all the pros and cons of modern zombies in my personal opinion. For those who are wondering what my criteria is, my credentials if you will, I've been playing COD Zombies since Black Ops 1. Yes, my first map is Kino der Toten, just like every other human being on the face of the earth. And I've played every single map since then, not at launch, though I want to make that abundantly clear. I only played Infinite Warfare Zombies for the first, all the DLC ones for the first time this year. Most of the BO4 ones I played for the first time last year, the DLC ones at least. So I love zombies, and I've been loving zombies since the dawn of time, and I love them. I love all the ones that the rest of the veterans, the OGs if you will, love. I love Black Ops 1 zombies, I love Black Ops 2 zombies, World at War zombies, and my favorite is Black Ops 3 zombies, just like everybody else. I know it's basic, but it's my opinion, man. It's basic for a reason. I always hate when people are like, oh, it's basic. Yeah, it's basic because it's an average, you know. It's just how averages work. Most people are gonna like BO3 the best, I think, and that's me. So those are my credentials, man. I've been playing for a really long time, and I don't know, I hope you guys agree with me. I haven't ever really done one of these sort of videos where I'm just gonna be talking. There's gonna be no cuts, no editing or anything. The background footage is just gonna be some raw gameplay of some Black Ops 6 zombies, and I'm just gonna talk. I want to do more of these on my off days anyways, do some more talking, vlogging, things like what Jev does, you know, if that makes any sense, just updating you guys on what's going on. And so I figured this is a good place to start, since I've been doing a lot of zombies videos recently, and just like everyone else, I'm in that same boat where it's I don't hate modern zombies. I like it a lot better than freaking Vanguard, that's for sure, and Advanced Warfare and Ghost Extinction. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely fine, but god, it could be so much better. The premise is there. They just need to work on these small things, and I want to go over what those small things are, but also want to talk about yes, again, man, modern zombies I really genuinely do think brought some good things to the mode as well. I hate when people are every single thing about modern zombies is horrible. No, I think there are actually a lot of pros to modern zombies that I actually like over classic zombies, and we'll go over those as well today. Movie of the day, though, before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my favorite movies of all time, obviously, because it's movie of the day, Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 is a freaking banger. I don't care what anybody says. The lineup for actors in that movie is, astronomical. It's freaking phenomenal. It's a bank heist movie. If you've ever watched a single bank heist movie in your entire life and you're that was kind of entertaining, watch Ocean's 11, because it's my favorite bank heist movie of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. I have all the whole trilogy. Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, nowhere near as good as Ocean's 11. Just watch Ocean's 11. If you really like it, watch Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, but I would honestly just not even really recommend it. The Ocean's 11, though, was a freaking banger. So good. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And like I said, we're not going to cut it or anything, so we'll just start talking about it right away. I want to start with the pros, because once we get to the cons, it's going to be very negative, and so I want to bring up the positive things first and be a happy lad. I don't want to immediately just bring everybody's mood down. So the first thing that I actually think is a good addition to modern zombies, and this is a hot take, I've seen a lot of people that do not like this: salvage. I like the salvage system in modern Call of Duty zombies. I don't like how you can use the salvage to craft kill streaks, though. I want to make that abundantly clear. As a matter of fact, the only thing I like about the salvage is the fact that you can upgrade your weapons rarity, which ends up doing more damage with salvage. I think a lot of the times I like going for high round attempts as well, don't get me wrong, but once you get your setup and it's round 25, you know, you're probably even earlier than that, it's round 20, let's say. It's round 20 and you're going for a high round attempt, and you have your guns packed, you have your setup done. It gets a little boring. You just train in the same spot, and you just, Ascension and Kino, dude. Ascension, you're training on that landing pad right next to PhD. Kino, you're training on the stage, and there's just not much to do after that. You have all your guns are packed, you have all your perks, you're just ready and just running around in circles for hours at some points. And I think salvage actually brings a whole new thing to grind for, and a whole new way to upgrade your weapons, and I like it. I don't see, honestly, the big downside to salvage like other people do. Again, I do want to make it abundantly clear, and we'll talk about this more once we get into the cons, but I do not like the addition of kill streaks, and again, that'll be a con, and that's also what you can use salvage for, and so that part I don't like about it, but I do like salvage in being used to upgrade your weapons. I think it's a fun new currency in COD Zombies, and I just wish they didn't go so crazy with it. The next pro is the movement. I don't think this is a downside at all. I can kind of understand where people might be coming from, where it's if they really they want it super realistic, and because it's not realistic to be freaking sliding around and having a 14 or 40 inch vertical you're freaking, I don't know, Saquon Barkley. It's ridiculous. Obviously it's not super realistic, but dude, you're fighting Call of Duty zombies, all right? You're drinking hundreds of year old sodas that give you extra health and extra bullet damage and faster reload times. You are shooting fire dogs that explode when they get shot. Since when do COD Zombies players care about realism? Like, why do that is the worst argument I've ever seen. I like movement in Modern Zombies. I think it's a fun way to get around the map, and it makes them be able to make huge maps and not be annoying to like traverse them, which I think is freaking great. Like, as a matter of fact, that's one thing I like better about Blood of the Dead than Mob of the Dead. Obviously, I like Mob of the Dead better overall, but one thing that Blood of the Dead does better is the fact that you can slide, so you can get around. Like, that's the big thing about Mob of the Dead. It's just such a freaking big map, and you're always going back and forth to different places. Blood of the Dead, you can slide and get to places faster and faster. I think movement in Zombies is nothing but a bonus. Movement in like insane omni movement in multiplayer, I've complained about before, so you guys are probably like, well, that's contradicting, and I know it sounds like that, but no, I think in multiplayer movement there's a skill gap there, and it becomes really annoying when you're going up against 14-year-olds that have absolutely cracked movement because they have the best reflexes known to mankind, and you don't. In Zombies, you're not playing against anybody, you're playing against zombies, so the movement doesn't negatively affect anybody, it just positively affects the player, and I like it in COD Zombie. I like the more advanced movement settings and stuff like that in COD Zombies. The next pros for my list is the enemy types. I don't think they're the best the series have ever seen, don't get me wrong. I think Black Ops 3 probably did the best kinds of honestly though, this might be a hot take, man. I think Black Ops 4 might have done the best enemies in the entire series. Every Black Ops 4 Zombies map had different enemies besides like the Blightfather was on like a lot of them. But besides the Blightfather, a lot of the maps had their own different unique enemy types that were all fun and cool to fight. Dude, 9 had tigers, the axe throwing dudes, and then the barbarian dudes that just run at you and jump at you. All of them played differently, all of them you had to kill differently, and it was well, not really, I mean, you just shot them. I mean, it's COD Zombies, but you get what I mean. Like, they all attack differently and stuff like that. Black Ops 4 had the best enemy types for sure, but I do think Modern Zombies has good ones. I don't think they're the best in the series, but they're really fun. I freaking love dude, when I first played Citadel Day More, and I don't remember their names because they're really kind of a little forgettable if I'm being honest, but when I first played Citadel Day More and those freaking weird dudes started running at me at the speed of light and they explode, they're like suicide bombers. Ooh, that was cool. Enemy types in Modern Zombies is pretty peak, and I think they're doing pretty good with it. The next pro for Modern Zombies is the camos. I'm a big fan of the freaking camos, man. Nebula is gorgeous. Dark Ether from Black Ops Cold War, gorgeous. Some of their camos are absolutely gorgeous, and it gives players a reason to like actually grind out zombies and get like high round attempts, which I think is freaking cool. I don't see a real big downside to that. Now, there is something that we're gonna get into when it comes to the cons that has to do with camos, but again, we won't mention that until we get to the cons. And either way, I want to try and get through these faster because I think, one second, sorry. I think that, most of these are pretty, like, obvious and stuff like that, but, sorry, again, one second, guys, I'm sorry, I accidentally deleted something, so I wanted to get it back. Okay, the next pros is it's very beginner friendly, and this also is going to, again, kind of be a pro and a con. This will be in the cons a little bit, but I have no problem with giving players a helping hand. I guess I'll kind of spoil it now for the cons, but we'll talk way more in depth about it when we get to the cons. My problem comes when you force everybody to be playing in that casual mode, that holding hands mode. If you want to make some sort of extremely easy and hand-holdy mode for new beginning players, that's understandable, but make that the secondary mode. Don't make us start on that mode. Make that a mode where it's completely different and completely unrelated to the main casual, casual, I guess you could say, zombies experience. I think that would be significantly better, but I do like, obviously, that they're trying to make zombies in a way a little bit easier to get involved in and to understand, because it can be a very overwhelming and confusing freaking world when you first get into Call of Duty Zombies. I mean, we all know that. And the next thing for the pros is the freaking maps. And I'm mainly talking about Black Ops 6, but Cold War had some good ones too. Forsaken, Mauer Toten are pretty nice. D Machine is pretty good. But dude, I honestly think Black Ops 6 hit the nail on almost every single one of them. I didn't really care too much for the Tomb and Liberty Falls. I think both those maps are a little weak, but they're meant to be. They're meant to be the casual, easy maps with not a lot of depth to them. Citadel Day More, Shattered Veil, and Terminus are freaking great, though. I love those maps. That other one, that new one, I've only played on it like twice. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but maybe if I played on it a little bit more, I would like it, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on that one. But yeah, Shattered Veil, Citadel Day More, and Terminus are great. The maps are incredible. It's unfortunate that they were put in Modern Zombies, because if they had put these freaking maps in Black Ops 4's engine or Black Ops 3's engine, I guarantee they would have been better, but what they built there in the maps itself are really fun maps, and I think they're like, it's almost like they're going back to the roots a little bit with the maps, and it was freaking cool. They're super over the top, super colorful, super beautiful, with all these different things to do in them. It was fun. The next thing for the pros is augments. This is just fun, and people have for some reason don't like these. I don't know why people don't like what's wrong with these. It's just something that you work on while you're playing zombies. It's something in the background. You don't have to pay any money for it. You don't have to do anything extra for it, and all it does is make your perk stronger. It's not like you don't have the perk though. That's the thing I keep seeing people say. They're like, oh, in order to actually play the game how it's meant to be played, you have to play a bunch first to get all the augments, and then you play. No, that's not true at all. Dude, my very first game of Terminus, I was doing perfectly fine. They're the normal perks and they work perfectly fine without any augments on them. The augments just help, and I think it's a cool addition. I really do like augments being in Modern Zombies. I think it's a cool, fun, new thing to grind, a new thing to work towards while playing COD Zombies that isn't just high rounds or Easter eggs. I think it's great. And the final thing that I wanted to mention for the pros before we get into the cons is the field upgrades. Nothing really wrong with these, man. I'm just gonna be honest. There's no real main downside to the field upgrades in Modern Zombies. I think they're fun. I like that healing touch one where you can instantly revive all your teammates on the map. I think that's really freaking broken, and I don't understand why more people don't complain about it, but it's there. The ether one, where ether shroud, I think is what it's called. That one's fun. You pretty much have an in plain sight one. I don't remember what it's called, but there are a lot, obviously, field upgrades, and they're all pretty fun and pretty useful. And none of them really feel stupidly broken besides the healing touch one. But then again, healing touch only matters when you're playing co-op anyways, so I guess it's fine. But healing touch is disgusting. It makes quick revive literally completely useless. Healing touch is just overpowered. I don't know how more people don't talk about that. But either way, that's it for my pros. Obviously, there are probably a couple other things here or there that I'm missing and things that I'm forgetting about that I do like about Modern Zombies. And overall, I want to make it abundantly clear before we get into the cons, because again, we're about to get negative. All right, we're about to get to the point where it might put a damper on your mood here. Overall, I want to make it very clear that I do like Black Ops 6 zombies. I do like Black Ops Cold War zombies. I don't like Vanguard, and I don't like MWZ, but I understand MWZ. I understand there's definitely an audience for MWZ, and it's just not my style. So that one's different. Vanguard is just trash. Let's just leave it at that. But Black Ops Cold War, and I think Black Ops Cold War is lacking a little bit of something, and I think they made up for the majority of what Black Ops Cold War was lacking in Black Ops 6. I think Black Ops 6's Zombies is a really fun zombies mode, but it's nowhere near as good as Black Ops 4. It's nowhere near as good as Infinite Warfare. It's nowhere near as good as Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2 or even Black Ops 1, which didn't really have too much depth. And here are the reasons why, in my opinion. The first reason as to why I think Call of Duty, Modern, Black Ops 6, Zombies, whatever you want to call it, is just not the same anymore, and just feels like everybody, I feel like all of us kind of think it's yeah, you think about the zombies and you're like, yeah, it's good, but they're just missing something. And the first reason, and one of the first things I think they're missing, is the story. Dude, I understand that the zombies story has always been convoluted and has always been extremely confusing unless you sink hours upon hours of your time into learning the lore and the story and everything like that. I get that, but that was never my problem, and I don't think that was many people's problem. There was a good way of getting into the basics of the zombie story and just learning the basic things, like who Maxix even is, who Richtofen even is, all these guys, and just learning the basics, and that's pretty much where I got to. But then if you wanted to go super in depth and find out every single thing there was to learn about zombies, you could read the Chronorium or whatever that thing was called. You can watch a 4-hour long video essay about the freaking Black Ops storyline if you wanted to, but you could get into the story at a baseline as well if you wanted to. You can do that as well in Black Ops 6, don't get me wrong. It's definitely still not the hardest thing in the world to follow. They give you a lot of freaking cutscenes too in Black Ops 6's Easter eggs, so if you're doing the Easter eggs, you'll get every single thing spoon-fed to you. But my thing is the story is just it doesn't hook you in the slightest bit. I don't think there's anyone out there who's done a super long video essay on Black Ops 6 Zombies story. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there is, but nobody, you really think people watched that more than when, Black Ops 3 was at its peak? No. Black Ops 3, the story was interesting at a base, and so it got you hooked into the story of the whole world of COD Zombies. This one doesn't get me hooked at all. I don't even know the characters' names, dude. Okay, I don't know anything about the story. I don't know how any of this stuff ties together, because I don't care, and I feel like the vast majority of people don't, and that's not because because I'm getting older and I just don't really care about the story in video games anymore, like some people claim. Because if anything, I think me getting older made me care more about like stories in games. You know what I mean? Like I care more about these things. Back when I was a kid, remember No Russian from Modern Warfare 2 was just a fun mission. I was 10 years old and I was just going through that airport blasting people. Nowadays, if I play that mission, it like actually makes me emotional. Okay, so like yeah, I care more about freaking stories now, if anything, and I don't care at all about this, and that's a problem. I think they really need to go back to making the story interesting, and this is just not the way to do it. The next con, in my personal opinion, has been dug into the ground at this point. Every single Call of Duty Zombies YouTuber has mentioned it, and every single Call of Duty Zombies YouTuber is right. I have not met a single person in my life that likes the new HUD, new heads-up display. I don't think anyone likes this. Who isn't. Dude, sorry to sound like the owl that's trying to ask you how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop, but literally, who asked for a minimap in COD Zombies? Who asked for medals popping up on your screen in Call of Duty Zombies? Who asked for hit markers even? That was all the way back in Black Ops 4 that they added that, but still, even back then, it was like, why? What in God's name is the point in having hit markers in COD Zombies? What is the point in having a health bar above a basic zombie's head? What the hell is the point in that? The point of points popping up on your screen, XP popping up on your screen. What is the point in having kill streaks at your side? It's just, what is this? This is not zombies. There's a compass. A freaking compass. What? How many times have you ever been playing Call of Duty Zombies with your friends and been like, oh hey, there's a Panzer spawning in at 140 north. Oh my god, I'm stumbling on my words. There's a Panzer spawning in 140 northwest. That is never in 7 billion years ever happened in Call of Duty, okay? No one has ever used the compass in COD Zombies, and no one ever will. The minimap is completely useless, and it actually, the HUD actually lines up into my next complaint, which is my biggest complaint, my biggest con, and I think, honestly, all these other cons, I genuinely think this, man, and I hate how YouTubers just kind of glance over this. I honestly think that every other con in Call of Duty Modern COD Zombies would be completely ignored and nobody would care about them if they worked on this next one. And the next one is the freaking difficulty of COD Zombies nowadays is not there whatsoever. Not even close. It's not hard in the slightest bit. For reference, my friend, who has his COD Zombies experience has pretty much started and ended at Black Ops 1's Kino der Toten. That's all he played. He doesn't even know any of the Black Ops 2 Zombies maps, any of the Black Ops 3 Zombies map. He is super casual. So casual to the point he has never prestiged in a Call of Duty before. And he made it to round 25 solo his first time playing Liberty Falls. That should be impossible. That should not be possible in the slightest bit. That is not COD Zombies. But I trust me, I have a whole lot more to get into when it goes to the difficulty. So the first major problem with the difficulty, starting weapon. People have talked about this all the time, but yeah, give us a freaking pistol, man. Again, if you want to give us a starting loadout, then make some super casual mode that hand holds you and everything like that, and put it to the side. All right, put it to the side. I don't need that. All right, I do not need a starting weapon. If you want it for camo grinding, fine, but I think honestly that's a slight problem. We'll get into that in a second too. Actually, no, we'll talk about it right now, but this doesn't lead into difficulty, but this is actually my next con point. Camo grinding is starting to take priority, and I believe that's the reason why they're making modern Call of Duty Zombies so freaking easy. It's so that people can get their camos, because obviously they're not going to want to sit there grinding out a COD Zombies game where they're dying on round 20 all the time. So they made it easy, so there's 100 zombies spawning in every single round, but it takes 2 shots in the head to kill them, and so you can get your camos easier. I think that's the main reason as to why it's so freaking easy, and it drives me absolutely insane. I said earlier, this is what I said earlier in the pros list when I was talking about how I do like the fact that the camos are beautiful, but I don't like the fact that they're acting like Call of Duty is now just being like, oh wait a minute, we found out that if we want players to keep playing our COD Zombies mode for our investors to see that we're doing better and our numbers are going up, all we have to do is release these really cool camos, and then people just keep playing the game, and we don't have to actually make good maps because they're just camo grinding the whole time. So it looks like they're playing the game because it's a good game, and so our investors are interested, but no, it's just the camos. And that's my problem with the camos. Like that's a pro and a con, because again, the pro is that they're beautiful. I love the camos, and I do kind of like camo grinding in COD Zombies sometimes, but at the same time, I can't stand the fact that they're using that almost as some sort of excuse to themselves. They would obviously never say this to us, but to themselves to make subpar maps and make them extremely freaking easy. The next reason why these maps are so unbelievably easy is there's absolutely massive training spots all over the place. I mean, dude, Kino der Toten and Ascension are the first two that pop into my mind when you think of easy training spots, right? Because again, of the PhD, the landing pad next to the PhD flopper on Ascension, and the stage on Kino, those are super easy training spot areas. Dude, they're probably, honestly, those are both probably harder spots than almost every single part of Terminus, of almost every single part of Liberty Falls and Shattered Vale and Citadel de Mor. Every time you buy a door in any of these maps, there's no risk anymore. There's no tight corridors. You remember 5? Dude, 5's entire map was a tight corridor. There was not a single place on that entire map that was good to train at. And it was fun because it was so freaking hard. It was so hard and it was so difficult that when you reached round 15, it felt rewarding. It felt like you actually did something special. When you beat the Pentagon Thief, it was cool. Now in Black Ops 6, you're just, who cares? You don't even have to, when you ended a round on Shangri-La, you had to make sure that you ended that round at your training spot. Because if you weren't there yet and the new round started, you might get caught in a tunnel or something and die. Black Ops 6, end the round wherever you want, man. You can end the round in the pack room. You can end the round going to buy Jug. Like, it doesn't matter at all. That's another thing, actually, I don't have this written down, but I'm going to mention it right now. Dude, remember when Juggernog used to be in, like, the super hard to reach locations? Origins Juggernog is down that little hallway next to that generator. There's Akinos is down that little hallway next to the two, like, leading up to the stage there. Like, they've always been in hard locations because they knew that it was like the best perk on the game, and so they made it difficult for you to even go get it. Nowadays they just throw Jug in the middle of the friggin' room. They don't even care anymore because it's not difficult anymore. They don't care about difficulty in the slightest bit. The next part that leads into difficulty is OP weapons. Not only are the weapons absolutely broken, but you can start with them. You can start with OP weapons just in your inventory. What? There's no reason for the box anymore. How often do you hit the freaking mystery box in Black Ops 6 Zombies? I don't think I do that ever. I don't think I hit the mystery box once per game. Like, what? You start with your broken weapon, go and get the wonder weapon by crafting it, and now you have a setup and you're done. That's all there is to it. I mean, once you get Meal Kick, I guess you can go and get another one and then you hit the box. But like, honestly, no, you don't even need to do that because the wall weapons, curve, or whatever the word is I'm looking for, scale with like the late game. So if it's later into the rounds, they're purple rarity or legendary rarity or whatever it may be, a purple or yellow, tier 4, tier 3 rarities. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the higher rounds, so you can just buy a wall weapon and you're fine. There's no reason for the box anymore because everything, you just get to start with the OP weapons, and the weapons themselves, honestly, I could forgive the weapons being broken because like Black Ops 3, realistically speaking, man, almost every weapon in Black Ops 3 was pretty disgusting. Okay, like the Drake and the Brecci, the Haymaker, the Dingo, like these guns were disgusting and they were just box weapons. So I get the OP weapons thing. My thing is, it's just so freaking easy to get them in the first place. There's no worry. You're not worried at all. The next reason why these maps are so freaking easy is there's literally no health on zombies. Dude, there have been times where I'm one-shotting zombies on round 6. Like, yeah, sure, I'm getting headshots, but what? With a pistol? Like, what are you talking about? That's not that. No, to give the zombies a little bit more help, make them a little bit tankier. All right, that's just dumb. That's just, oh my god, I forgot to mention this too. Another reason why it's super easy. This is another thing that I don't have written down. You can just buy ammo now. What in dude? What the hell is the point? Again, I know what the actual point is. Camo grinding, but like, why? Why? That's so stupid. If you want to put the freaking boxes of ammo in the map, put it in easy mode. Don't give us that on the regular map. What is literally, dude, there's no risk. There is no risk. Who even cares about a max ammo anymore? Just go to the freaking box and spend 500 points and get your ammo completely full again. What? What the hell, dude? What are you doing, Call of Duty? Like, do you understand how cool like how much risk factor there was with not being able to buy ammo all the time in the old CODs? Like, what do you do? That's just so stupid. It's like, these are the type of things where it's like, when you first think about them, it sounds like it makes the game better, but then once you play it for more and more and more, no, it doesn't. It just makes the game easier. And that all that does is make those exciting moments where it's like, oh my god, I finally did this. I finally beat the Panzer on Origins, or I finally reached round 20 on Horizon-Track, or I finally crafted an actual like custom bow on Horizon-Track. Like, those moments are gone now because it doesn't matter, because it's not hard. You'll do it in every single freaking game, and so it doesn't matter anymore. The next reason why it's so freaking easy nowadays, you can take probably like 15 hits, especially with Jug. Dude, there have been videos of people sitting there literally letting zombies just wail on them for like 10 to 15 seconds straight. No shield, nothing, dude. Just Jug. And they're taking 15 hits. Bro, what? Why? What's the point, man? What's the point in allowing your character to take 15 hits besides making it more easy? Which we didn't want. We did not want the game to be easier. Like, that's the opposite of what we wanted. Some of the most memorable maps are memorable because they're hard and it takes a while to learn them and to understand them. And once you understand them, though, you can become good at them. Shadows of Evil is not an easy map. The Origins is not an easy map. Mob of the Dead is not an easy map. These are hard maps that have extreme reward factors for learning the maps more and more and more and putting in the time and effort to learn them. And yes, once you play it, you practice makes perfect and you become good at it. And so then it seems not hard to you anymore. But dude, do you remember your first time playing Mob of the Dead? I guarantee you got down around 5. You had no idea what you were doing. Every one of us was like that. Nowadays, who cares? As a matter of fact, that leads me into my next point on why it's so easy. Dude, I'm not joking. My first time I ever played Citadel Daymore, ever played that map. To be fair, I was playing with 2 of my friends at the time. I was playing with my friend Ethan and my friend Patrick. So it was 3 of us playing. But the first time we ever played that map, we reached round 50, and halfway through, at around like round 25, we were like, okay, well, we're getting kind of bored. Patrick, do you mind looking up the Easter egg real quick? And so we completed the Easter egg. On our first attempt of the map, not our first attempt of the Easter egg, our first attempt of the map, we literally loaded into the game, played it up till like round 20 or whatever, did the Easter egg real quick because we were bored, did the Easter egg, then reached round 50 and then exfilled. I get that, like, yes, I am, as a matter of fact, all 3 of us are kind of like veterans at Call of Duty Zombies at this point. Like I said, we've been playing since Black Ops 1. We played almost every single DLC map, at least all the Treyarch ones, besides, like, some of the Black Ops 4 ones. I get that. You know, I get that, yes, obviously, practice makes perfect. Experience means that, obviously, we're going to be a little bit better. But that still shouldn't be possible. You want to know why I know it shouldn't be possible? Because even on maps that we've played 100 times before, that's not easy to do, okay? It's not easy for us to load into Shadows of Evil and get round 50 and complete the Easter egg in one game. Even my dog's barking because she's saying, yeah, he's right, it's not easy. Okay, that's not easy to do. It's not something that, like, I've played Shadows of Evil probably 200 times at this point, and I still will fail the Easter egg multiple, like, probably 50% of the time. Okay, like, doing the Easter egg and reaching round 50 on your first ever attempt of a map should not be possible. That is way too easy. If you're doing that, that is dumb. There's no point. There's no reward anymore. There's no reason to keep playing. The next reason why the difficulty is just completely out the window, and again, this is one that sounds like it's good at first until you start to think about how easy it makes the game, the perk system. Dude, it's literally every single thing that added any form of difficulty to Call of Duty Zombies, they just decided to get rid of in modern zombies. You're choosing 4 perks and having to rock with those 4 perks unless you did some sort of, again, challenging task to get some sort of extra perk. Like, for example, on Origins you can get double tap or whatever. That was a staple of Call of Duty Zombies. All right, that was a staple of zombies. It made just a little bit more of a difficult decision that you had to make there. Now, not only did you have to just try and find the good weapons in the box or craft them if they were a wonder weapon or something on certain maps, but you also had to decide when you were going to spend your points on pack-a-punching a gun or if you were going to spend it on a perk. And then once you had to decide to spend it on a perk, you had to figure out whether or not what perks you were actually going to get. And it made for an extremely fun experience. Yes, obviously for the majority of the maps you would just go with quick revive, speed cola, juggernog, double tap, or stamina up. It would either be it would kind of always be tough choosing between double tap or stamina up, but that was really the main problem. So it wasn't like the biggest, most in-depth decision making you ever had to do, but that is just completely out the window because you can just buy every single perk. And not only can you buy every single perk, they put a Wonder Fizz machine on the map at, I think it's like round 20 when they put it in on the map now on Black Ops 6. So on round 20, which is, again, takes maybe 15 minutes to get to on modern COD Zombies because it's not hard at all. Once you get to round 20, you can just go to one location and buy all the perks right there. You don't even have to go around the map anymore. You don't even have to go into, like, the hard to reach areas to get Jug, which, by the way, aren't hard to reach anymore either. We already talked about that, I know, but I want to reiterate that. Jug used to be hard. Jug used to be a freaking, like, a really hard thing to do, and now it's just not. It freaking drives me nuts. It drives me so nuts. It's like, it's something that's so small that you don't realize until somebody says it to you, like right now. Again, guys, you can buy every perk. Why? What's the point? There's nothing that's exciting anymore. Nothing is exciting. And then the next reason for the difficulty, again, brings me back to one of the pros I mentioned earlier, kill streaks. Dude, what? A chopper gunner in Call of Duty Zombies? I thought it's an apocalypse. Like, I thought that was the whole point. How was there a chopper gunner flying in the middle of me fighting zombies in what's supposed to be some sort of barren wasteland that's overrun by zombies? But it's just not, and there's a chopper gunner coming in. That's obviously kills the fun factor of it a little bit, but that's not the point of me bringing up kill streaks. The point of me bringing up kill streaks is because it makes it so... Dude, the boss fights are a joke. They are an absolute joke now, because you can just call in a chopper gunner and kill them. Dude, the Rising Rock boss fight, it literally looks like a freaking Dark Souls 3 Nameless King times 2 with Melania and Thomas Consort Radon all put in one, compared to freaking Black Ops 6's boss fights now, because of kill streaks. It is just so blatantly obvious how easy they're trying to make it for you, handing you absolutely everything. What is the point, dude, of even trying in these games? There's none. The only reason to play modern Call of Duty Zombies now is for the freaking camos, which again, I said earlier, is one of my pros. I think the camos are beautiful, but I don't want it to be their forte. I don't want it to be the only thing that they care about when making zombies maps, because I get why they're doing it. They're a business at the end of the day, and they need to get more players to stay on the game. But a good way of doing that is by adding difficulty, making the maps hard, and that's what made us play them back in the day, because they were hard, and it felt rewarding when we went and played a map, and we got to a new higher ground that we never reached before, or we made it a little bit further into the Easter egg that we never reached before, or we finally figured out how to even get to Pack-a-Punch, which used to be a hard time, and that actually leads me into my final thing about the difficulty and why it's so freaking easy. They literally tell you exactly what to do and exactly where to go for Pack-a-Punch. You can't even turn that off even if you go into standard mode. That's not even something that's just in directed mode. I know directed mode holds your hand and tells you the entire Easter egg if you want to, but that's something that's even in standard mode. They tell you exactly what to do
Give me
to get Pack-a-Punch. What? Why? I don't think anyone in their right mind ever minded figuring out how to get Pack-a-Punch in these maps on their own. That took maybe 10 extra minutes of your gameplay, and it felt super freaking rewarding to just find Pack-a-Punch on your own and learn it. And now it's second nature to do all the rituals in Shadows of Evil. It's second nature to teleport the Pack-a-Punch pieces when you walk by them in Horizon Rock. It's second nature to go and pick up the plane parts when you walk by them, or when you turn on Afterlife in Mob of the Dead. It's second nature to turn on all the generators and origins, because you learned them on your own. And sure, when some of them were a little bit too hard, to be honest, like, dude, still to this day, I don't even remember how to get off the Blood of the Dead parts to build the Pack-a-Punch machine. So, you know, there are definitely some that are a little bit more difficult, but that's what YouTube's for. Look up a freaking 5-minute guide, not even 3-minute guide by Mr. Dalek JD or Mr. Waffle Waffle, and it takes literally 3 minutes. Like, who cares? They're telling us exactly where to go and exactly what to do for Pack-a-Punch. Dude, that doesn't even get in the way of camo grinding. I don't even understand why they would do that. Like, again, some of the other ones, I guess it kind of makes sense they were trying to make it easier for camo grinders. But the camo grinders will figure out where Pack-a-Punch is, man. It takes them 5 minutes. Alright, and then after that, they'll know where it is for the rest of their gameplay of Black Ops 6, which will be a lot if they're doing it for camo grinding. There will be no problem for them, okay? You do not need to tell them exactly where it is. Please do not do that. That was the stupidest decision I think I've ever seen in my life. That's not even like a bad decision just for difficulty-wise. It's just a bad decision overall. That just kills the freaking, like, in-depth, like, in the mood, the vibe of the game, when you literally have icons on your map like it's a freaking Assassin's Creed game telling you exactly where to go to complete your next quest, which is building Pack-a-Punch. That is dumb. That is just blatantly, just plain and simply dumb.
Acceptable.
It's stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Not really, obviously, but it's one of them. It's close. But I guess that's pretty much all the things I want to say for the difficulty cons. Don't worry, that does not mean we're done with the cons. We still have 2 more cons, in my opinion, with modern cons, probably. But the big one, again, I want to really reiterate, I know we just talked about it for probably 14 minutes straight there, but I want to make it abundantly freaking crystal clear, man, that I think the main reason and the main problem with modern COD Zombies, and it's not just because I'm an old head, not just because I'm a veteran, is the difficulty. I understand why they're doing it. At the end of the day, they're a business, and at the end of the day, they just want players playing their game more. And whatever they're going to say, like, at the end of the day, dude, it makes sense. Like, think about it from their perspective. That's what they want. They want players to play their game more. And if camo grinding is what's keeping players on the game, they're going to make it easier for the camo grinders to do that and to have more fun doing it. I understand that, but at the end of the day, man, it's killing your mode. Because the second people get sick and tired of camo grinding for camos every single freaking year, they don't care anymore, which will happen. It'll absolutely happen eventually. Just you wait there, Call of Duty. Once that happens, because nobody cares about Black Ops 4 stuff, man. Alright? Nobody cared about World War II Pro. Nobody cared about Instant Warfare Solar or Black Sky. Like nobody cared about those things. Most people don't even know Black Sky exists. Alright? And the reason why is because we just got fed up with it at that point. The reason why people are talking about it now is because of Warzone, and so it rejuvenated the freaking game mode. But yeah, I just want to make it abundantly clear that I understand why they're doing it from a business perspective, but killing the difficulty of your mode, which is supposed to be a hard mode, is a stupid financial decision. You are killing your mode, and that's a terrible idea. Black Ops Zombies, while it may not be like the most, obviously multiplayer and Warzone are more popular probably than Zombies is, it's still a very popular mode with a very large and thriving community back in the day. There was moments, dude, where, I mean, look at Tim Hansen and Mr. T-Lexify and the Smith Plays in their heyday. These guys were getting millions of views. There are people that like zombies, and they're not gone. They're burnt out. There's nothing to do with them anymore. You freaking killed the mode, and you're killing it even more. You're gonna lose even the camel grinders pretty soon. And then once you do, your mode's gonna be dead. It's because of difficulty. There's no reward anymore. There is no reward, no risk, and no reward. It's not a good idea. Next combo, sorry for rambling so long on difficulty, but I really just think I just want to push it forward, man. I really want people to start talking about it more. See all the YouTubers, and they all complain about all these other things, and they never really complain about the difficulty that much, and I think that's the main problem. The next con is characters, though. It kind of leads into the story a little bit here, but, I mean, dude, who the hell are we playing as in Black Ops 6, man? I don't know a single one of their names. I don't care about a single one of them. I don't remember a single voice line. Hey, play, or drop the chips and give me some ammo. That's iconic. That is iconic. Everyone knows Dempsey says that. Okay, like, you don't even... I hate you if you think that the Black Ops 6 characters are better than the like original cast. I actually don't like you as a person. Like, I genuinely, man, me and you would not be friends. There's a 0% chance me and you would get along. You're just wrong. You're dumb and wrong. The original characters, Takayao, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Richtofen, are goats. And I understand that they don't want to keep doing it over and over and over again. That's fine. Make a cool cast. Dude, the Mob of the Dead cast is awesome. Shadows of Evil cast is awesome. Call of the Dead cast is awesome. I understand you can't make the Call of the Dead cast again because it was celebrity cast, but dude, you had plenty of times where you've made new casts that weren't the original 4 that worked in COD Zombies that you could have worked on. As a matter of fact, dude, the Chaos crew in Black Ops 4 I think is super cool. Bruno and the freaking, I don't remember all their names, but you remember them. The big buff dude, I think one was Diego, the freaking old guy, the girl, the slick greaser guy. Like, those guys were cool, man. I didn't play Black Ops 4 too much, if I'm being honest, so I don't really remember them all like by heart or whatever, but I liked them. They were freaking cool. The Dead of the Night cast was cool. I'm pretty sure those were also a celebrity cast, so again, understand if you can't do that again, obviously, but like, these guys were cool. You've made plenty of cool characters. The entire Infinite Warfare characters were awesome. Okay, there's only very small amounts of times that you've freaking flopped on your characters, and it's been every one of the modern zombies, and like Black Ops 2's, like Russman and all those guys freaking sucked. I did not. Russman, Misty, I hated those guys. I don't think anybody liked those guys. Those guys were freaking annoying. I didn't like a single one of them. But that's the only time you missed on characters. Black Ops 2, it obviously Advanced Warfare, because who cares about Advanced Warfare? But like Black Ops 2, Advanced Warfare, World War II, again, because who cares about World War II? And now modern CODs, Black Ops Cold War. I don't know if they even had a cast in Black Ops Cold War, like actual like character names, or if it was just operators in that game. It could have been just operators. Who knows? MWZ, I know it was just operators. I know you weren't playing as like some sort of character. Vanguard, dude. I don't even want. We're not even gonna. Black Ops 6. Moving on from that, Black Ops 6. Again, I know they're trying. I know in this game at least, they're trying to make some sort of character arc and some sort of character story or whatever with their characters. Let me just tell you this right now, Call of Duty. It's not working. It is just not working, okay? And I hate to sound like your freaking grandfather or whatever, but I think the reason why is because you're trying too hard to be like hip and nice and like accepting of everything. Like, dude, no. Nikolai was cool because he was your typical Russian drunk, alright? I don't think there was anybody that was Russian that was like, I'm gonna go play Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies, played it and was like, I hate this game, I'm offended by the way they made me look. No, because they made Dempsey look like a moron too, and I freaking love Dempsey. I'm an American. I love that guy, okay? No one's offended by that, dude. Just make him cool again, alright? Make him cool, make him say some badass lines, make me feel like I'm killing zombies, not like playing some freaking Nickelodeon Nick at Night show. It's dumb. It's dumb. They're not cool anymore. Next con, and the final con, I'm starting to get mad now. And I'm also starting to lose my voice. I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight. But the next con, and the final con, but again, all these other cons don't matter at all if you just make the difficulty hard again. But either way, the final con is the armor system. Honestly, man, the armor system honestly kind of ties back into the difficulty again, if I'm being honest. I should have just brought this up in the difficulty segment, but yeah, it's going back to that, I guess. Dude, who in God's name wanted armor in COD's what? Armor in Call of Duty's... What is the point in that, dude? What in the world? Dude, if you took a poll, Call of Duty, alright, here's what you're gonna do. Listen to me, Call of Duty. If you're a Call of Duty developer, this is what I want you to do. At the launch of Black Ops 7, before players play Call of Duty Zombies, have a survey pop up on screen. You know how sometimes you do that with, like, update requires restart? Nobody wants to do that, and it doesn't make the game any better. This will make the game better. Nobody will want to do it, but at least it'll make the game better. So I think it's a better idea. So have a survey pop up on the screen before you're allowed to start Call of Duty Zombies, and have it right up. The question in the top needs to be, do you like the updated HUD with XP popping up on your screen all the time, medals popping up on your screen all the time, a mini-map, a compass, the hit markers and points flying all about? And do you like the new armor system, or would you rather have it be the old way? I will tell you right now, Call of Duty, make it public. Make it freaking public, because you will lie. I know you will lie. Make it public. Because I guarantee you, if I'm wrong, I will give up my Call of Duty account. I'll give up my Call of Duty YouTube channel. I'll take it all down. I won't ever say a word about Call of Duty again. I'll bow down. I'll kiss your feet. I will kiss your shoes if I'm wrong. I guarantee you over 80% of the players that log in and have to take that survey will say no, they want the old system back. 80% of them. I guarantee it. And those other 20%, man, I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're smoking, but don't listen to them, because they might have read it wrong or something. Maybe they're illiterate, because there's a 0% chance. Dude, honestly, 80% is being nice. It's probably more than 90%. I don't think I've ever once in my entire history of Call of Duty ever seen a single person say that the way they're like the new HUD and the armor system in modern zombies is good. I don't like for example, one thing that I hate, and this is like one of my boomer takes, you know, and I understand the other side of the argument here. SBMM. Everybody hates SBMM in modern COD Zombies, or so you think. There are a lot of people that you can see defending SBMM, and they have honestly a good point to the argument when it comes to SBMM. And so there, like, even though you think like, oh, 90% of players would say they want to get SBMM removed, that's not true. It's probably like a good 50-50 split. 50% that think that SBMM should be removed, and 50% that think it should stay, and that's understandable. But I have never in my entire life seen a single person defend the heads-up display or the armor system in modern zombies. As a matter of fact, the only thing people say in any sort of defense to it is, you know, you can turn it off, by the way, right? That's the only thing they say, and that's not them saying like, oh, it's good. It's just them saying like, hey man, I turned it off. You know, you can turn it off. You can go into their menu and turn it off. That's all they're saying, because they want to get them out of that freaking loop. They want to get them out of that pain and misery of having to deal with all that crap popping up on your screen. But the one thing that you can't turn off is the armor system. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. There is no point in the armor system being in COD Zombies. No point whatsoever. It doesn't make camo grinding any easier. It doesn't make anything easier. I guess it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It literally, all it does is make you have to hold triangle or Y or whatever the key is on PC for a couple seconds every once in a while, and have to run around over dead zombies' bodies every once in a while too to try and find armor plates. That's it. That's all it does. And it's stupid. It's pointless. It's not fun. It takes away from the engagement of the game when your guy's stuffing freaking armor plates in your vest. It's just dumb. I'm not a police officer about to go fight some dude in a domestic dispute case. Alright? I'm fighting zombies. I don't need to have Kevlar armor on my chest. That's just stupid. It's just so dumb. So dumb. Like all these cons that we talked about, that's the main problem, is they're dumb. The difficulty thing is dumb. Everything that they decided to do with difficulty is dumb. There's too many. Alright, that's it. That's the final con. Super long video today, just a big yapping video. Again, I want to do more of these though, man. I'm passionate about Call of Duty, man. I've been playing since 2010. My bad. I've been playing since 2010. I've been playing this game, man. I've been playing for 15 years, and all I want to see is it succeed. And I'm getting older, man. I'm getting wiser. I think I'm 25. All right, I've seen this game. I've seen this game evolve, and dude, I honestly, I just think that these are the main problems. Like, I do. I think that if they just worked on these problems, I think they need to get their heads out of their rectum and swallow their pride, swallow their ego for a little bit, and realize that the community is saying that they want to fix these things because they want the game to be good. They're not saying they want these things to be fixed because they're preying on your downfall, Call of Duty. I mean, at this point they are. At this point, yeah, they're praying that Battlefield destroys you. But can you blame them? You've done nothing but freaking haven't listened to them. They've been trying to help you for years, and you don't care. Every time you have listened, it's been received extremely well. Every time. You got rid of supply drops, everybody was like, let's go. That's awesome. What was one of your most popular Call of Duties? Modern Warfare 2019. Why? Because you got rid of supply drops in that game. There's no supply drops. Like, every time, once you go back to realism, and once you go back to, like, I know people were like boots on the ground, and then World War II came out. World War II definitely wasn't a banger, but you gotta be honest, man, that was Fortnite time, and it was right after Infinite Warfare. It was a hard thing to come back from there, so you can't really blame that on World War II. But the first real, like, realistic boots on the ground game that people gave a chance to, because Fortnite was finally dying, was Modern Warfare 2019, and it was a banger. Everybody loved it. I didn't. Like, I thought it was freaking Camper's Paradise, but everybody else loved it. If you just listen to your freaking community, Call of Duty, people will love your game again. All right, like that's all there is. All right, to recap super fast, and I mean super fast real quick, because we're just going to fly over these, to go over the pros and the cons once again. For the pros, the things I like about Modern COD: the salvage. I like the salvage. Thinks it adds a nice new layer of upgrading your weapons. The movement. I think movement in Call of Duty Zombies getting more and more advanced is nothing but beneficial to the series. The enemy types. I don't think they're better than other enemy types in COD Zombies history. I think Black Ops 4 has had the best enemy types, but I think they're really good. They're really fun and engaging. The camos. I like the camos. I think they're really beautiful. Again, there is a con to this, but we'll get into that in a second. But I think they're really cool camos, and you do want to grind them, I think. It's beginner friendly. I like this a lot. I like the fact that there is a way for new players to get into COD Zombies, which is usually a very, very confusing and convoluted mode. Now there's a way for them to get into it and not have to worry too much about being super confused and lost. I like that. The maps themselves are pretty fun. It's unfortunate that they're running on the engine that they're running on with the system that they're running on, but I think if they were in any other game like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4, people would have loved them. The augments. Augments are a nice new thing to grind while playing the game that just happens passively, and there's no real complaints. It makes for a lot of cool, fun, unique changes to perks that we always have knew and loved, while not ruining the perks in the process. I think they're good. The field upgrades. Field upgrades are cool. Nice little update. These have been a thing since Black Ops 4, maybe even Infinite Warfare, actually. And ever since then, I think they've been great. I think they've been a fun little addition to COD Zombies. I like them. As for the cons, the first major con, the first thing I really don't like about COD Zombies, the story. I think Call of Duty Zombies needs to really lock in with their story. I think they need to lock in with the story across both Zombies and campaign, but this is a Zombies video, and yeah, the story in modern COD Zombies, I don't think anyone cares about, myself included. The heads-up display. There's no reason why the heads-up display in COD Zombies should look similar to the heads-up display in multiplayer or Warzone, and it does. That's stupid. The big one, and we'll get into every single little tiny fact here as well, the difficulty. Starting weapon not being just your pistol, you can choose whatever loadout you want as a starting spot. Having huge training spots behind every single door that you buy, meaning that no matter where you are on the map, you're pretty much safe. Extremely overpowered weapons, no matter what they are, as long as you just upgrade them with the rounds, just ruins the difficulty. There's absolutely no health on zombies. Zombies round in zombies die, my bad, in 1 or 2 headshots, even on high rounds. You can take maybe 15 hits before going down, especially with Juggernog and 3 armor plates, which is just, I mean, what's the point in even being trapped anymore? You can get trapped, reload, and then get out. Perk system is just gone. There is no perk system anymore. You can just buy all the perks, so that's not really a system. It's just, here they all are. First time I ever played the map Citadel des Morts, I reached round 50 and completed the Easter egg on my very first attempt. My friend, who's very, very, very noob at Call of Duty as a whole, and especially at COD Zombies, first ever time playing Liberty Falls, reached round 25. Both those things should never happen. They tell you exactly where to go for Pack-a-Punch. Just no point for that one whatsoever. There's kill streaks. Yeah, I mean, chopper gunners, sentry guns, RCXDs. I mean, what's the point in that? That makes no sense whatsoever. There's an armor system to protect you even more against zombies, but it also just gets in the way and is annoying to play with. And camo grinding clearly takes priority over actual difficulty and actual reward. The reward that they want you to worry so much about is the camos, rather than actually playing the game and enjoying the game and experiencing new things every time you play a map again. It's sad. And there are even more that I don't have written down here that when we were talking, I brought up and was like, oh yeah, and this, oh yeah, and that. That makes it easy. There are also multiple things that I don't have written down here right now that I just can't remember off the top of my head that I mentioned earlier. The next con is the characters. I just don't even know a single one of their names, and I don't think anybody does. And finally, the last con, we already kind of mentioned it a little bit here, but it was the armor system. Yeah, this is just dumb. It's just plain and simple dumb. It's just stupid. No, it makes no sense whatsoever. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video of all the pros and cons of modern Call of Duty Zombies, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great moment jumbo. I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel where I'll be yapping even more. Okay, like you thought this was a lot of yap? Oh, don't you worry, partner. That is my yap channel. It'll not even be related to anything in particular. There will be times where I'll probably like find a video that I find stupid on Twitter and be like, I want to talk about this, and then go make a whole video talking about it or something. I just like to yap sometimes. I made a whole channel dedicated to it. It's gonna have no schedule, no nothing. It'll be in the comments below if you guys are interested in that. But this is where, don't worry, every one of my yapping videos about Call of Duty in particular will definitely 100% be on this channel. So if that's what you're looking for, you don't got to go anywhere. It'll be right here. Anyway, guys, that is the end of today's video. Again, sorry that it's so freaking long and that there's a lot of negatives to it, but dude, I've been thinking about it for so long, and I feel like every one of us have, you know? Every one of us have been sitting there just like pounding our heads and like, no, why are you doing this, Call of Duty? Stop, listen to us. And I just wanted to get it all off my chest, man, make a whole video about it. That way, whenever I'm like feeling frustrated about COD Zombies, I can go back and watch this and be like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, I said it, it's out there. People know how I think about this. I don't gotta make a new video or whatever. So, and on top of that, man, like I said, I wanted to do more just talking vids anyways, and vids that aren't like ranking all videos or playing a certain zombies map video. Also, my background video that I saved for this video was 20 minutes long because I thought the video was going to be around 20 minutes long. So I gotta go play some more Black Ops 6 zombies real quick and get some more background footage. So yeah, we're gonna go do that real quick and get some more background footage to make up for the rest of this video because it's already at 51 minutes and we're still not done with the outro. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.